I'm gonna probably just fucking ramble, because who am I fooling? That's what this channel's about. I've never been able to organize my thoughts, that's not what I do. I'm a rambler. That's cool. Maybe that's who I am. I've been obsessed with this idea of utilizing who I am. Came home. Oh, I was 16. I was like kind of done with studies, and I was like, oh, I could utilize who I am. I speak English like a motherfucker. You guys don't realize, because a lot of you probably are English or, USian. But I'm not. I'm French. French people, they don't speak English. And I love my fellow French person, but they suck. So I was like, oh shit, I could go to English college, be a translator, be anything, a teacher. I could make music. And I was like, why would I go and force myself to do math for a lot of money? What's the point? So now I guess I'm utilizing the fact that I literally forgot. Oh my god. How do you forget to pick up people from places? I do that. So yeah, I'm gonna utilize the fact that I have every symptom of ADHD to just ramble and do stuff. So what day are we? Yesterday I jammed with Gabi Morel. It was the first time we played together in so long, and what happened is I kind of had planned things. I had charged my phone quite a bit. I had like 80% battery, and I knew I was supposed to stream and stuff. I'm actually gonna check something now. I'm gonna check just how much data I used by doing that stream. Because we did it on the data. We literally had a rehearsal space with Wi-Fi and stuff, and the guy was adorable. He gave us the codes and stuff, but it just like didn't put them in, and we just literally set up the instruments and started playing, and I was like, hello, just record us right now and let's go. And so yeah, well, holy shit, that was 1.4 giga just for that stream. Like YouTube, like just iPhone, it's so unoptimized, man. It's like it just iPhone filming just uses up way too much data. Like it's just like the bitrate is absolutely gigantic for what it is. It's not worth it. Anyhow, we blow through my battery, right? The phone can't handle it. The luminosity is way up and stuff for the hour that the stream is going. And I could have said exactly like, oh yeah, I need to have some battery because my train ticket's on there and stuff. But I just didn't want to, I didn't want to warm up my voice. I didn't want to do all those things in audio tests and stuff. I was just like, man, I'm with Gabby. Like, we need to play right fucking now. And so that's what we did. And yeah, no phone battery. And we go to their place. I try to log into my SNCF account, and I couldn't do it. Needed my Google account and try to log into the Google, and it doesn't allow me to send a text to my phone, even though we switched like SIM cards. Like it was a whole engineering operation, and I end up not managing. So I get on the train, I roam the entire train, and I find this lady that's controlling the tickets, and I'm like, hey, I'm really sorry, I have no battery on my phone. Actually, that's a lie. I was very rude about it. I just literally looked for her for like 5 minutes, and I went from one wagon to the other and stuff, and I had to like, it's not like you're jumping over anything, but it's just like you put your foot on this piece of metal that separates the things, and you're like, oh, it's not very sturdy, right? It's not as good as the actual wagon floor. So you're like, oh, if that gives, I'm dead. Interesting. But whatever. I find the lady, and I instantly just literally go up to her without any introduction. I'm like, I have no phone battery. My ticket is on there. She's like, no battery at all. I'm like, no. Do you have a charger? No. Okay, sit down here and wait for me. And I sit down, I start waiting. And at this point, the day had been a really good day, which is understandable. There was like anxiety associated with playing with Gabby, in the fact that I was gonna probably sleep at their place and they have a cat, and I was like, oh no, my allergies, just being a irrational pussy about it. And then I moved the rehearsal so I could come back home before having to sleep and stuff. And I was actually proud of myself for doing that because you had to get stuff done too. And so it was good for the both of us. And I did it and whatever. And I gave I sent the uncomfortable text or whatever where you have to come back on what you said. Like, whatever. Go back on what you said. Whatever. I went, I saw my friends. I played music with them. My arms were good. No pain. Just like tightness, but it's okay. I don't feel it now, and my back was like everything. Just music is so healing, so it was so good. And there was that aspect too of like, holy shit, I rock. I was able to move it around so there was the right timing and stuff. I really did this shit, and I left home with like a fully charged phone almost, just knowing that I have to stream and I need to have battery. And so I was really happy about the day. And the moment she says, sit down, I'm coming, I'm like, okay, I don't know what that means, I know that maybe she'll do a gesture for me, maybe she'll do something. Because otherwise she would have just told me right away, okay, you're going to pay up because on this type of train, I'm sorry, or we can't verify your ticket. She doesn't say that. She just says to wait. So I'm like anxious but I'm like, okay, do the right thing. Just, is it the right thing to be anxious? No. So try to enjoy, like whatever, meditate, do something. I couldn't, there was just no way I was going to be able to do that. I'm going to put eye drop in, it's burning. So, oh, I just squirted that shit into my eye, dude. I start thinking, man, I could probably roam the wagon. How do you say wagon? Wagon, that's German. Wagon. Let's go with wagon. I could probably roam the wagon and just like look for an iPhone charger, right? There's like 30 people here. Of course somebody has it. Of course it's kind of a big price to pay to annoy those 30 people. But I'm like, this is one of the moments where you should treat people like NPCs. Like, of course it's going to annoy her and annoy them, and shit, but it's not going to change the world in a bad way. It's definitely worth the character development is good for me to go out of my comfort zone and it could save me from having to pay something that I don't need to pay because I've actually done the right thing and went ahead and purchased the ticket. And I felt just so, it was definitely my fault, but it's just so unfair because like literally, I say literally quite a bit, phones die. There's a day your phone's gonna die. So the fact that the train company doesn't account for that and you have to, pay a contravention or something for when the phone dies is stupid. And aside from dying, shit runs out of battery and stuff. And you know what? I should have had charged it. I should have had my battery. But it was so fascinating because it lasted maybe 20 minutes of me just like sitting there being like, oh my God, what do I do? If I move, is she gonna think I'm trying to escape? If I move to look for a charger, but if I look for a charger, I'll be able 100% to see my ticket and stuff. And also I was like, oh, but what if... I wasn't completely sure since my phone had turned off that I was even on the right train that I had purchased tickets for. And so I was like, oh no, if I charge the phone and I see it's the wrong ticket, then I get no chance for her to do a gesture or I have to lie about it. Or there's going to be someone who has seen me charging the phone and then sees me being like, oh yeah, no, sorry, I still can't show you the ticket. But then this other lady enters the train and kind of sits next to me across the alley and then, ladies and gents, please show me your tickets. And the controller lady starts with that new lady that had just entered the train. And I don't know if the new lady was drunk or something, but she just, sounded kind of all over the place. And she just said, I have no ticket. And then she wouldn't pay up. It was either $50 or the ID verification and $100, or it was the police, and she didn't want any of those options. This, I don't know why it's 50 or 100. They have a whole like escalation process if you can't confirm your identity or something. And she just was, she was trying to get a way out of the situation for like 10 minutes. She was just like slithering around like a snake, just being like, this is ridiculous. You're just obeying orders. This is bullshit. How can it be so expensive? I have no ticket, but I'm not going to pay $50. And she didn't want to say who she was. And obviously she didn't want the cops to get involved. So, and the controller lady, it's crazy because that's her job, but she was still like getting emotional about it. Like she was, just repeating the same shit over and over again. Ma'am, it's 50 or it's 100 or it's the cops. But, I could hear her voice tensing up and stuff, and she was really upset and she didn't want to be part of that whole stupid masquerade, obviously. And at some point she just gave. The new lady, she was like, oh, fuck it, and she gave her address or something to pay the $100 later, and she'll get a letter. And she ignores it. I don't know. Cops come in. I don't fucking know. But, she just wasted this agent's time for nothing. And it was like this duality where technically she was exactly the same as me, the new lady. She was on a train with no way to verify that she had a ticket. But she straight up said she didn't have one. I said, my battery's out, but anybody can just do that, right? I could have been full of shit. There was no way the controlling lady had really, actually a legit reason of treating me any differently than her. But after the 10 minutes of arguing with her, and she finally gave her an address and stuff, controlling lady just turned to me, and I was like, oh yeah, so I still don't have any battery. And I couldn't even finish. She was like, oh, I saw you earlier, right? You're good. Just like that. And I was like, oh my God, I just wasted 30 minutes obsessing over those things, and she maybe had made up her mind a while ago, or she was just taking time to know what she would do. But it's so funny how human all those things are, right? If it was bots, I would have been fucked. I would have been in the same situation than this new, drunk, annoying, nagging lady. But the controlling lady saw that I wasn't full of shit and that I was really sorry, and I looked for her before she even started controlling so I could, give her a heads up, and I wasn't bullshitting. I was telling the truth. She couldn't know that, but I stayed in place. I didn't try to get away. I did what she said, and it worked out. And should I have looked for a phone charger? Probably. It's useless to overthink it now, but it's just like, yeah, I just want to highlight that story because it's kind of crazy to me. How you can look at a big box the company that handles trains in France and be like, this is all bullshit and corporate and there's no way around it and it's really strict and you have to be that one way and you have to have your tickets, or if you don't have them you're fucked. No, it's like, be nice and do what you're fucking told. And sometimes people, it's still people, they work for a company, whatever, they're being paid a certain way and stuff, but they still call the shots. They can leave you off the hook or not, and they can see into your eyes, they can see into your soul, they can try to find out if you're lying to them. And that's kind of what I found with hospitals and shit too, where in January I really freaked out about my eyes, so I went to the ER, and they wouldn't take me in because they were like, I was like, my eye is burning, it's itching, it's terrible, I need help. And she was just like, yeah, I'm sorry, it sounds like you have really dry eyes, but that it's just not an emergency. And I pushed it. I was like, please, I need answers. It's been 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, it really hurts. Please, do you have anything? And I just kind of sat there. I didn't push it too hard, but I was just like, but it really hurts though. And I just sat there for 15 seconds. I didn't really say anything, and she just looks up at me again, and she's like, okay, come at 10. It's like, those things don't work until they do, because it's still a human that you're interacting with. And it's like, it was so interesting that this lady was sitting just halfway sorry, she was just sitting across the what, the alley, yeah, the alley of the train, right, the center, the central thing you walk on. She was just sitting right there, and there was this duality where she really fucking pissed off the controlling lady. And I don't know if she would have, let me off the hook if it wasn't for that annoying lady, but it was just like, she didn't want to, the controlling agent didn't want to deal with this kind of shit anymore. And she was just like, yeah, this idiot with a guitar, he was nice enough. I'm not gonna mess with him. He's acting so much better than this other lady, or something like that, right? It's just interesting. For all my worries, yeah, there was really nothing to be scared of, because I couldn't have known. I couldn't have known about this new annoying lady. I couldn't have known really what was inside the agent's head. Like, would she have freaked out if she saw that I wasn't in my seat anymore and looking for an iPhone charger or something? Like, I don't know. Maybe I didn't do perfect, but I got out of that situation okay. It's just how much time do you actually waste worrying about things that aren't in your control, or you persuade yourself that they're not in your control, when this was thanks to me. This is because of what I did. I got off of it too, because I did look for the lady and be like, hey, I don't have my thing, I don't have phone battery, and I did try to be nice and do what she said. And I just felt so wrong. I felt horrible when she was talking to that other lady. She was at it for like 10 minutes. I felt so bad for her. I even felt bad for the drunk lady, because it's like, I don't know what she's going through. I can't say that she's a bad person or anything. She's just really annoying right now, but it's just such a shit situation. I felt like I was going to throw up. I was going to throw up for that, for nothing. And I would have, like, I don't know, I would have paid $50. It's like, it's a lot of money. It's fucking annoying, but it's like, whatever anxiety makes you think that, like, whatever situation is currently going on is like the thing with the most stakes right now, when really, like, I don't fucking know. I'm not great with my sleep pattern. Maybe the most important thing I should have been focused on that train was thinking, okay, how do I get a good night of sleep tonight? Instead of just feeling so wrong and feeling like such a bad person for just having no phone battery and annoying that agent. I don't know. I didn't have a point with this. I just literally wanted to tell that story. I think it's interesting. It's such a basic story that happens to everybody, but yeah, it's like your attitude makes such a huge difference in those things. Like, what if that nagging lady was just like, instead of saying I don't have a ticket, what if she said the exact same as me? What if she said, yeah, I have no phone battery right now? And then the agent was like, okay, well, we need to, verify whatever, and get info. And the nagging lady instantly went like, no, wow, this is bullshit. How could you do this and stuff? I think she would have paid up the same way, and maybe I wouldn't. 20 minutes to just say, it's not like I made any decision either. I was just literally, I felt like I had no choice. I just didn't want to pay because I had already paid for the ticket. So I did whatever I could to not pay, apart from looking for a phone charger. But it's not like I was, okay, today I'm going to be as nice as I can, so I'm going to do this. But I still did a nice thing either way. So fucking be nice to people. This is terrible. All right. What else can we key smash about? I don't know. I kind of want to say something in like a minute. Let me think. Oh yeah, just not knowing. Not knowing is actually good. Like this eye anxiety kind of stuff these days, it's kind of more about the veins than it is about any symptoms. It's just, when you have dry eyes, there's like new veins coming up that never go away in the future. When you, this is fucked up and interesting and definitely hypochondriac thing, but when you don't sleep at night, when you smoke pot, when you go on bright screens for 12 hours, you get red eyes. What that means is like there's just thousands of small vessels that dilate. And then when you stop the behavior, you get a good night of sleep, you put eye drops in, you take a shower, you relax. Your eyes aren't red anymore. Go away. Okay? And that's all like very small veins, right? It's like your eyes aren't really veiny, even though there's like some veins that are there that usually aren't. It's more like just red and then goes away. And the veins that aren't usually there or aren't usually visible go away too. But sometimes if you fuck up too much, if you do something too long, if you have dry eyes, whatever, new veins arrive and they just kind of stay forever, which is something I discovered, or at least I think that's what happens. Or veins that you couldn't see before become redder and thicker and stuff. And there's like one dude in the United States that removes them, but he literally, removes the sclera of your eye. He's just literally scooping out part of your eye to do that, so you get like terrible shit afterwards a lot of the time. It's not worth it at all. You should just accept those things. But yeah, like years ago I started like putting a moral value into the noticeable veins that I could see in my eye, and if it felt like there was any worsening, because obviously it's about the way you feel it, because those things are so slow, it's really difficult to tell from one day to the next if you have a new vein, right? It's really hard actually, and it's not something you should even try doing. It's just something I started paying attention to. I felt like I feel now like there are in my eyes veins that weren't there like 2 years ago, a year ago, 3 years ago. And I think that's definitely true. But I just can't fucking prove it. I don't have a picture of my eye good enough. I don't, I'm not crazy enough to be 100% sure. And I feel the vein thing, I feel like it's also true for like a month ago or two. And I've put this moral value on it where it's like, you're such a piece of shit. You were addicted to screens. You wasted all this time. You slept terribly. You've been knowing better for years and you still don't do better. And every time I kind of saw myself in the mirror, I just checked automatically the veins. And anytime that I saw one that felt new, I felt horrible. But now I'm just trying to... Obviously, there's many ways to not care about that anymore. If you have like basically anything else going on in your life, it kind of takes care of it. But since I'm anxious, I can literally, I don't know, have much bigger, more important things to care about constantly and still go back to the same stupid issues like that I have zero control over. Like it's over, I can do zero about that. Nothing. I can make sure my eyes aren't as dry in the future. I just put eye drops in. But that's it. That's it. I can affect the future veins, not the ones I have now. Zero chance. It's over. And it's like sometimes it gets so bad that saying simple things like, "Oh yeah, I now have new eye veins that weren't there before," feels like traumatizing to the point I feel like dissociating, which is definitely pathological. It's not normal because it's not an issue. I'm talking like those things are so small you couldn't see it. You couldn't see it if I took a picture of it, if I filmed it. You couldn't see it if we talked face to face. If you were kissing me or something, you maybe could. Not even sure. Like only basically me can see it in a mirror, and like I care literally about veins as small as I have to squint to see them. It's crazy. So that's why I don't know if they're actually new. Like they're so small and they're so insignificant, and also I just get so much better at spotting them, and it's bad. It's like I just check them more and I check new places, and in a way that I didn't do that before. Before it was basically, it only felt like it was on the left side, so I never looked on the right side, and now I'm seeing shit on the right side, and I'm flipping out. I'm completely flipping out because it coincides with like the feeling of burning I've had on the right side and stuff, and it's just, it feels like it's completely me, and it's completely new, and it's completely my fault. And so there's this idea that I could go back. If I could only go back a month, things would be okay and stuff, which is ridiculous. It's not true. And the thing is that, yeah, it's really helped me to be like, wait, I don't even know if those veins are new. I actually don't know, because of what I said about I'm spotting them better now, I'm paying more attention now. Maybe they've been there for years. Maybe I'm delusional, and that actually makes me feel better, because I'm like, hell yeah. It felt just, that's what I want. I don't want this to matter. I want this to be an illness in my head. I want to be delusional. I want to be able to dismiss this. And it's really useful. And it's the same thing for like other physical pains inside my body. It's like my hip's been hurting and stuff. And I've been like, why did you go ski? That was such a bad decision. You're crazy. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, that pain would have probably happened anyway. You know? Like, I have a problem with my feet and stuff. And that affects my knees and all my joints and stuff. And so like, my feet are just square, right? So this was just fucking bound to happen. So why do you pin it on that specific event and you know, give it such a moral value so that you allow anxiety to destroy you? Fuck that. Just say, I don't really know. Sometimes it helps. To just, you're not faking that you don't know. I honestly actually don't know. Like even the new veins, if there are new veins, I don't know why they're there. It can't have helped that I'm a screen junkie. But, I mean, I put eye drops in for 35 days instead of 15 that had back in it, which is a conservative they put in eye drops that destroys your eyes. They put it in for conveniency, and it's not expensive to make eye drops with that preservative. It's not an expensive preservative, and it's just like, you know, a lot of eye drops are made for like old people that use it for like infection or something, and they don't see super well. And no, not infection, but it's my bad. They could get infections if there was no preservative, so they use preservatives, which in general aren't great. And they use that one because it's cheap, and it's not an evil thing that they do, but it's just, it's not a good thing, and people don't know about it. I didn't know about it, and my stupid ass fucked up and used them for too long, and I think I'm fine. I don't think it could, I don't think it did much damage, but it absolutely could be the reason there's new veins. So I don't even know if it's me. I don't know if I should put this moral value on it, because yeah, literally today I forgot. It's today that I forgot to pick up someone. But I don't feel bad about it. I only feel about it. I feel bad about it for me, but I can't regret it, because forgetting is not an action. It's not something you do. It's an absence of action. It's yeah, I've never understood why people should beat themselves up for forgetting. So I don't really care that I put. It's not I recognize it's a bad thing that I put the eye drops in with the preservative for so long, but I just don't. I don't regret it, because I didn't do anything, right? So yeah, just letting go of those things that anxiety tries to pin on you and completely on you. And you can do that to any level you like. And you can let go of it when you want. It's the thing with ideas, it's glasses. You put them on, you change them, changes the tint of things, and you don't have to commit to them. You don't have to commit to them ever. You can view your whole life as something just like forgetting, just as morally significant as forgetting. And maybe you don't feel the same way as I do about forgetting. Maybe you think, oh, you forgot to pick up someone. That's terrible. It's your fault. It's a mistake. It's like, no, I don't see it that way. I see it as shit happens. And I feel like I have ADHD, so I feel like it's just like a collateral damage of one trait in my brain that I didn't choose. And your brain dictates, everything. If you wanted to, you could say there's no free will because I didn't choose my DNA, and my DNA, pretty much does everything. Do I do anything? Like, do I actually take any decision that wouldn't be radically different were my DNA different? Like, and those are different questions, but you can, nothing can prove you wrong, and nobody can prove you wrong if you just say there's no free will because I didn't pick my brain. And this is a Sam Harris idea. But that's ultimate I don't know, right? It's like you shift all of the responsibility away from you. So it's dangerous, but it's also really soothing. So if you're ever having a panic attack, just be like, name things and stuff. But then be like, fuck, bitch, this is crazy. I didn't even choose my damn brain.